recruits and their families. You'll feel reassured that you're not alone and know a little bit more about the London Military Family Resource Centre programs and services. So let's get started with the introduction. So welcome everyone. Hello, my name's Donna Pickering, if you haven't met me already. And I work for the London Military Family Resource Centre Outreach Services Hamilton office. I've been working there for over 8 years now and began working with the New Family Project like this one for about 3 years. And it's been very rewarding. I'm also a very proud military mom and spouse. The information that I'm providing is based on my own experiences, what I have learned from new recruits and their families, and information gathered from different resources. Sometimes we may not understand all the techniques used in basic training, but there is a method to what we consider madness.
So I'm going to change the slide. And that brings the presentation introduction to myself. So my name is Margaret McKenzie. Hello.
Hello.
It's my pleasure to be here with you today. I am the virtual program coordinator for Military Family Resource Center in Prince Edward Island. And I work virtually from my home office in Winnipeg. And I do a couple of things. I train staff across MFRC, across Canada, in how to bring a live presentation to a virtual audience. And I also develop programs for the community, and we partner with a lot of people like MFRC Trenton, MFRC London for this program to bring great information to Canadians, armed forces families, regardless of our posted location. I have more than 25 years experience as a military spouse and 11 moves under my belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to be your producer for tonight's session, so welcome. Now, one other tool that I wanted to share with you before we get started is the whiteboard tools. So if I can draw your eyes to the top left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see a big, thick blue arrow. If you're on a Mac, you're going to see a black arrow. If you click on that and click somewhere on the screen, you'll have a pointer. Great. Now, if you can click somewhere underneath my name, you see my pointer there, MFRCPEI, click Make a Nice Line all the way down. That would be grand. There we go, right underneath mine, because you're going to need room to write. There we go, like you're picking a row. Fantastic. Excellent. And Noella, if you can just scooch down a little bit, that would be great. It's all part of the fun. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now to the right of the arrow is the letter T. So if you click on the T, you can write your name. So write your name beside your arrow. It's an icon, and write your name beside your arrow. And there are 3 things that I'm going to tell you about this text tool that you're going to learn as you go along, because we're going to use this tool a couple of times. The first thing is for us to be able to see what you've written. For us to see your name, you have to click away from what you've written so we can see it. There we go. My name's, thanks, Scott. Sheena, great. Paul. There we go. So just write your name and click away. Click somewhere else on the whiteboard. Great, Judy. Excellent. So now continue with writing your location and the first name of your recruit and one fantastically great thing about your recruit.
One fantastic thing about Donald.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Lynn. Hello.
Drum major. Drum.
Hey, Ron. Amazing, Dad. Oh. It's a tough time. Great.
Music of my life.
So there's some great comments here. I sent you a quick note, Donna. And Donna's just going to go through and connect with each of you.
Perfect. So I'm going to start with Paul. So if you want to just go through your location, the first name of your recruit, and one great thing about them.
I'm Cheryl. I'm his wife. He didn't put my name there, but anyway. We're from Cambridge. Lived here 15 years. Pretty much Donald's been marching behind military bands since he was 4. He's a drum major for Parisport, Dover, pipe and drum.
Wow. Okay.
Excellent. So Sheena, can you continue?
I'm Sheena, and I'm from Burlington, Ontario. And Nathan is my boyfriend and my best friend, and he's in the infantry officer training program.
Perfect.
Infantry. So he's really fit, eh? And likes to move and shake.
He certainly does.
And Terry, can you continue?
Yeah, I'm from Georgetown, or our family's from Georgetown. We've lived here for about 8 years. Michael's our oldest son. We have 2 sons, and he is really the one that he was talking full sentences before he was 2 and just never stopped talking. So having him out of our home now has been really a quiet getting used to.
You have a little hole in your heart, eh?
Yeah,
Not having that?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's been kind of nice for our younger son because he's getting to actually talk a little more, and so that's been a blessing. But yeah, I can't wait to kind of hear Michael's voice again.
Oh, lovely.
Excellent. And Judy, would you continue, please?
We're from Crystal Beach, actually, which is part of Fort Erie, Ontario. My son is Dalton. He's 19. It's been his lifelong dream since he was about 13, 14 to join the military. He had universities watching him, and he still wanted the military instead. He's my baby boy. He's kind-hearted, very active, and he was a great student in school, graduated with honors as well.
Excellent.
And he's in the reserve programs of the Lincoln Welland Regiment.
Perfect.
Reserve program.
So Stephanie, can you continue, please?
This is Stephanie's husband and Michael's brother-in-law. Stephanie just had to step out of the room for a few minutes. But Michael has, he's been working at a couple of different jobs, but he wanted the military, and he got in. He went to write the test, and they said, "Oh, you did very well. You make sure you want to become an officer." He said, "No, I want to be in the infantry," because he wants the excitement, and that's just where he wants to be.
Okay, your voice is hard to hear, so you may have to use some chatting. But I did hear that he's very smart, and he chose infantry.
Yes, and we miss him very much already.
Oh, Stephanie, thank you for sharing.
Thank you. And Scott.
Yeah, my son, Reese, I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. My son, Reese, kind of surprised us because, I mean, he went through for hospitality and tourism at George Brown in Toronto, and then he comes out and says he'd like to join the military. And my son has always impressed me. Every time he does something, he does it with integrity. He's not afraid to venture out or to do anything. And that's why I put down he's a better man than I am. He just, every time he does something, I'm going, wow, he didn't get it from me. So, and I'm very proud that he's in the Canadian military. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Noella.
Hi everyone, my name is Noella. I'm from Milton, Ontario. My son Keenan joined the Air Force as air traffic controller, and he actually had applied for a pilot. position. He's done his air cadet, the pilot course there. He didn't make it at the very end, so they offered him the air traffic control instead. But I just spoke to him over the weekend. He seems to be fine, enjoying himself, and I'm hoping he'll do well.
Excellent. And Anita from Winnipeg.
Hi, I'm Anita. Yes, I'm from Winnipeg, and my husband's name is Ken. He has wanted to join the military for forever now, and he decided to take the avionics technician course. He's always been really good with computers, so he's very happy to do that. The only thing that made this whole thing very sad was him having to leave our 2.5-year-old son, who is actually doing really well, probably better than myself and Ken are doing, but they're pretty resilient, I guess. But yeah, he was taking that very hard, so definitely can't wait to have the two of them back together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anita, you and I are fellow Winnipeggers. It's Margaret calling.
And Kim.
I'm from Marmor, Ontario, and my son Brian applied for the military in August and left a week ago Saturday for basic training, headed for the Navy as a weapons engineering technician.
Excellent. And is there anyone that I missed?
Lynn?
Okay, Lynn?
My son is Ben. I live in London, Ontario. He joined in November, infantry.
And what's one great thing about him?
He surprises us all the time.
Full of surprises.
So, is there anyone else that would like to say something? Terry?
No, I'm good, thanks.
I think we've got everybody.
Okay, perfect. So we are such a diverse group of participants from all over the Ontario, Winnipeg. What a great opportunity to connect with each other.
Hi, it's Deb. I got missed. I couldn't get on there.
Oh, good. I'm glad you brought up Deb. So go ahead. I'll subscribe for you.
Okay, thanks. We're Port Stanley, which is south of London on Lake Erie. And our son, Kenton, is our youngest, and he applied when he was 18. He comes from a background of police officers. There's about 12 of us all that are police officers in our family. And so he thought he would go with the military, and he's actually at Fanshawe College right now through the military and studying culinary. So he should be heading out to basic, which I'm really curious about because I did my basic 30 years ago, to find out what it's like with the military compared to policing.
And what's the great thing about him?
About Kenton? He's somebody that if you want to lose weight, you look at him because he's 6'4", 125 pounds. So every time I want to eat something, I look at my kid and I'm like, oh no.
He's all energy.
He's hilarious. He's got a real sense of humor.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thanks for sharing.
All right.
Okay.
Where are you in your journey, hey?
So on the slide, you'll see paths, and each box represents 1 week of basic training. Use your pointer to show us which week your recruit is in now.
So your pointer's on the top left-hand side of your screen, and just bring it to whichever week you're in right now. If you're not quite there yet, put it before, and if you're maybe into third month or fourth month or fifth month after, put it way over, somewhere in between.
And if your loved one's graduated, just put it right at the end.
We have a lot of people just starting out here.
How do we get to the pointer?
So the pointer's on the top left-hand side of your screen. It's the big, thick blue arrow.
Oh, okay.
If you click on that and then you click somewhere on the whiteboard, you'll be able to get it.
I have no big, thick blue arrow.
Are you on a Mac?
Nope.
Do you have big, on top left-hand side, do you see where it says File, Edit, Share?
Nope.
No. Below that,
Share. Blue
do
arrow.
you see a big capital T?
Yes.
Okay, if you see the capital T, it's to the left of the capital T, you'll see a big pointer arrow.
I do.
And then click on that and then click somewhere in the whiteboard.
Okay.
And then if you can all give me a green check when you've had your...
Hello?
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 Are we all back?
I think so.
Okay.
It sounds funny. Hello? Can you hear me now?
This is the operator.
I think we lost Margaret's audio.
Oh.
Okay. So what are some of the highlights that your recruit has shared with you so far? Use the text tool to write some things on the path on the appropriate week that they occurred. For example, I remember it was a big deal for my son Luke when he got his first weekend pass around week 6. Remember to click away when you finish writing so we all can see what you have written.
Would that be on the whiteboard?
No, it's actually on the underneath your name. Write something about your recruit so far that they've shared with you so far. So just in a couple of words.
Which icon is it to use to get to write?
If you go to the top left-hand corner,
yep,
you'll see a T.
Yep.
So use your text tool, and then you just type, and then just click away, and we'll see what you've put down. So Judy said hard but worth it. And Anita said super stressed and misses us. And Wallace said was really happy. We finally heard from Keenan yesterday. He seems to have settled in well, has come to a conclusion that the first 2 weeks will be the worst, and then it will just start getting better. Of course. And Deb said not there yet, so we can see him every weekend. And I guess, Scott, you better, if you can, just... Want
me to put it someplace else on the screen?
Yes, please.
See where you wrote.
And Sheena said, loves the work, but separation does not get easy. Of course. So Reese, he's tired after fire picket.
Yeah, he says it's a little like sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
It'll do him good.
And Paul, can you just read what you've put down?
We just got a call from Donald. He just called us like 2 seconds ago. He got posted.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Excellent.
Excellent for him. That's good for Mom.
Aw.
I didn't want it to go that far.
Aw.
Yeah. And does Stephanie have anything to say? Or Terry?
Yep, I wrote going to Montreal.
Going to Montreal.
Yeah, he texted us, and I had hoped that we could go up and visit him their first weekend off, and he said, no, I'm going with a bunch of them to Montreal for the weekend. We're going to sleep and eat Quebec pizza.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, you know what? I texted him back. I said, I'm sad, but I'm glad for you. he had told us before he left that he really didn't think he'd want to see us until grad. Just felt like that was the better approach. So I keep hoping that he's going to change his mind one weekend, but if he doesn't, that's the way he wants to handle it, so good for him. Yes. And I'm so happy that he's got that bunch of people that he wants to go with and spend time together, so that's great. And he grew up in Quebec, so having Quebec pizza for him is a big deal.
And Stephanie said he's only been there 2 nights, and from talking to others, figures it will get better after week 5.
Oh.
I'm sure it will. Lynn, did you want to say a few words?
Did I not do it right? I said really misses his computer and he misses my cooking.
Oh, you must have.
Just click away so we can see them. Yeah.
Yes, please. Is there anyone else that I haven't heard from? Kim?
He passed his forces test, so he was happy about that.
Perfect. I think we got everybody. So we've already talked about some of these things, but I'm just going to go over them briefly. Some of the other things that your recruit will likely encounter along the way are uniform issues, the greens. This happens fairly soon after their arrival in Saint Jean. Fitting for their dress uniform, their DEU, or distinctive environmental uniform, which is usually in week 4 or 5. Graduation practice begins around week 9 or 10. Friday night movies, Canucks, and Subway, these privileges start around week 5. The obstacle course, usually 3 times during training, week 5 and week 8, and again at Farnham. And pool PT during first week or second usually happens once per week, and there will be a swimming test. They usually have a trip to the War Museum in Ottawa, which is usually around week 3 or week 4. Weapons training, everyone seems to look forward to getting a weapon, and that's required and they are required to keep it in with them at all times. Leaving it behind can result in punishment. There will be testing, and they must pass weapons testing in order to go to Farnham. The first weekend pass, which is usually the 5th weekend, and that's quite exciting, but never guaranteed. Boston Pizza is the place to be on a free weekend. Usually they will find lots of recruits there on the weekends. First aid training is usually the 4th or 5th weekend, and it's another crucial course, but you must not miss a class, and you must pass this. Loss of communication. Expect this to happen during free time. Recruits tend to go to their own bed space, chat with family and friends back home rather than bonding with each other. When they lose communication, they are forced to talk to one another, spend time with each other, and get to know their fellow recruits. Loss of communication can happen at any time during this training period.
So that's really important to know, I think, Donna, because sometimes, you know, if I was a parent, I would say, well, why haven't they connected with me? But sometimes they're not, because they have to really build relationships, right?
Yes.
That's tough.
And Judy just asked a question. It is different with the reserves. It's a totally different system because they are part-time. The actual basic training is shorter, and they do bond quicker with their fellow recruits. So next slide, please. So questions. Number 1, will my recruit have time during stat holidays to come home? No, except for Christmas. If your recruit has been home for a visit, please put your hand up. So if you go to the emoticons, has any recruit been home at all?
We have 3 so far. Lynn's, Paul's, and Sheena's.
Perfect.
Oh, Judy's as well.
Oh. So some things to consider. Travel time, more family time if you go to Saint Jean. You may or may not be approved and can be canceled at the last minute. for some recruits, it's difficult emotionally to return to training. This is true for all family separations. And weekends off are spent with other recruits, which promotes non-work-related relationship building. And this, once again, applies to anyone in St. John. So reservists, once again, it's different for them.
I really hit home to this one. For some recruits, it's difficult emotionally to return. It must be really hard, too, for the family to have them come and then go. Ah, so do some recruits then, Donna, choose to stay and not come home?
Yes, they do.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions so far?
Give us a green check if you're ready to continue, or a red X if you have a question and you want to. Scott.
Yeah. Is it? So I take it might not be a good thing to go up and visit him during his first weekend pass. Would that be correct?
It's up to you. It's up to the individual family. You know, if you want to go, you can. But like I mentioned in the slide, even if their chain of command is saying that they're you know, good to go for the weekend, if something goes wrong in their platoon on that last minute on that Friday evening, they may be taking away the privilege to leave the base. So you're taking that chance.
Okay.
But a lot of families do go and see their loved ones.
Okay, all right. Hopefully he does it
so
right. So he doesn't. Well,
if the privilege is taken away for everybody, that means they can't even go have a coffee with their parent when they're visiting, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Great question.
Any other questions, Lynn?
I just put on the chat about we're going to go up for graduation, and I just wanted to know what to expect. And,
we're going to talk about that.
Okie dokie.
Any other questions? No? Okay. So question number 2. What happens at Farnham? So this is the first real field training. The recruits spend time at Farnham twice during the last few weeks. The first time is approximately 2 to 3 days. The next time is usually 5 days.
Can't read it.
And another 5 days. During that time, they will experience sleep deprivation, face the elements, sometimes sleep outside, sometimes in tents. There will be simulated enemy attacks, civilian actors with pleas for help, and they will be required to use both defensive and offensive maneuvers. And yes, actors are brought in to make the scenarios as realistic as possible. The recruits will be eating rations and won't always have hot meals. They are closely monitored for physical and emotional effects, as safety is always a priority in operations. Farnham teaches them teamwork, to trust, watch each other's back, bonding, and responsibility to themselves and each other. Many soldiers have said that this was the best part of their basic training experience. It's an opportunity to practice what they've learned in a semi-realistic environment. Recruits are allowed their first weekend pass after their first trip to Farnham, but during the next period at Farnham, weekends are spent confined to base to rest, first of all for the next few days at Farnham, and then the next time resting for graduation preparations. Even after their first trip to Farnham, they are very tired and not very sociable. Not the best weekend for a visit. Any questions or comments?
When is the first one? Is it after the second week or after the third week?
The first is approximately 2 to 3 days. The next time is usually 5 days.
That's how long they're at Farnham. Do you know when in the weeks, which week they'd be at Farnham?
Oh, at the end, right at the end.
Oh, okay.
Of their basics, yes.
So
just before graduation.
If Michael's in his 4th week, will he have gone to Farnham yet?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Okay.
That's a great question. Lynn, did you have a question?
No.
Is your hand getting tired?
Oh, sorry.
Your virtual hand. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
How is it different for reserves?
They actually do their final testing in the summer, usually in the summertime, or they do it over like several weekends. But they do it in sections. So they do their first basic, then they do what's the soldier qualification after that. So it's not all one continuous training session. It's separated into different parts.
Okay. Learning a ton here.
Other questions?
Thoughts or emotional outbursts? All right, we're good to continue.
Perfect. So graduation.
Here we are. Who was asking about graduation? It's exciting time.
So graduation, it's a huge milestone to celebrate, if possible, to be there. Recruits are allowed to visit with family the night before, but must be back at the school by curfew. Once again, the evening pass is not guaranteed. Where to stay, where to eat? I have a few suggestions and will send them out to everyone tomorrow. Graduation ceremony. I suggest you bring a Kleenex. It's emotional, the pride you will feel, the precision of the drills, their deportment. It's quite something to see. Your recruit has transformed into a disciplined soldier, full of pride and confidence. And now you can finally call them a soldier. Pay attention to the Jumbotron as you will see your soldier's picture across the screen. You will have the opportunity to order graduation pictures and video. I will provide contact information following this session. Immediately after graduation, you will be invited to attend a reception where you will have the opportunity to meet some of your soldiers' friends and instructors. Don't forget your camera. There are no goodbyes the next morning, so make the best of your time after graduation. Your soldier will be transported to a base somewhere in Canada. They are now part of PAT platoon, personnel awaiting training. Time in PAT platoon can vary from weeks to more than a year, depending on the trade and when the next segment of training begins. Your soldier will not have a permanent posting until trades training is completed. Most live in shacks or barracks until that time. Once they receive their first posting, plans for their move will begin and the career begins. Is everyone looking forward to graduation? Any questions?
Yep.
Now, being with reserves, how is Dalton's graduation different?
Like I said, their basic military qualifications, they usually don't have a formal graduation ceremony. It depends on the chain of command. When my son finished his basic military qualifications, they didn't have any formal ceremony. They just, you know, graduated and then continued on, and from then went to their reserve units. So then from there, they just continue on with their training, and they just, because it's part-time, and most of them are either in school or have full-time jobs, they just continue with their training when they can. So there's always training there, but they just sign up for it when possible.
Now, if he wanted to go full-time, though, is there a big process to that, or?
Yes, they would have to go through. They would have to go through the basic training process in Saint Jean, and go through what, like, all the regular force people are going through, same thing. So he would have to start from scratch, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terry.
So when we went to the swearing in, I thought I understood that once Michael finishes basic, he gets to come home until he's told where he's going. But when I look at this, it says no goodbyes, troops transported to a base somewhere in Canada. So is that actually how it's going to work when he's done his graduation?
Usually the next day they are put on a bus and they go to the next destination and then they wait. Things may have changed since I created this session, but from what I know, they do not come home.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. Things do change in military all the time.
Okay.
So you could be right.
So that's a good thing to maybe do some research and see if you can get the answer for her, because it may, Donna, maybe for the after session email, because we're going to be offering an after session email.
Okay, great.
We just spoke to Donald, and we've been asking him about that, and from our recruit, he said no, that they don't get to come home. He actually just got posted to Wainwright. He leaves 8 o'clock the very next day.
After graduation?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So as far as I know, in his platoon, and he's in St. Jean right now, graduates February 18th, that group of recruits should be finding out this week or very close to graduation where they go next, and there's no home break.
Okay, thank you.
That's good to know, because you were probably looking forward to that, Terry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sheena, did you have a question? And then we'll go to Stephanie.
Yeah. I was just wondering if all of this schedule is also relevant for a recruit in the BMOQ school.
The officer training?
Yes.
A lot of it is, but officer training is a little bit different. It is actually longer, but I can research that a little bit more for you and see. But I'm pretty sure it is a couple more weeks longer than the regular BM too.
Yeah, I know he'll be graduating at the end of February, but I think we were both wondering if he does get to come home after or not.
I can find out for you at this time. I'm not exactly sure with the officer training program if he can come home. I think it may be the same, work the same way as the regular.
It's the same, but it's a good thing to double check it.
I will check it.
Stephanie, your brother, did you want to share your question in the chat? It's a great one. So, I don't know if your voice is working, Stephanie, so I can read it for you. Excuse me. So my brother's in the infantry, and I'm wondering if the place he goes after BMQ is where he will stay, or where they'll be training somewhere else for a while. I think that's what we're just talking about now, is that they will go directly from graduation to training somewhere else for a while.
Yes.
And I don't know the places. Do you know the potential places it could be, Donna?
So for Navy recruits, they usually go to the coast. Other trades, they usually go for soldier qualification, which is usually 6 weeks training. But that is just training, and then once they're finished that part of their training, then they get posted. And every scenario is different because every trade is different.
Terry.
Well, so if they're straight infantry, Michael's referred to something he calls battle training. Is that the same as what you just called soldier?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Do we know what camp that is?
Well, it's usually the members that are infantry, they usually go to Borden, but they do send them elsewhere. So once again, it depends on what the trade is.
So is that Camp Borden just north of London?
It's actually south of Barrie.
Close enough.
Yeah.
So Stephanie was under the impression that infantry would only be at either Petawawa or Edmonton.
That is where they get posted after their their next phase of their training.
Okay. Now, Donna, can you shed some light for me? The no goodbyes the next morning. So you have your graduation, and then you have a reception, and then you can go for dinner, and you have to be back by curfew. When you send them back at 9 o'clock, is that the end of it? Then you don't see them again the next day at all?
Pretty much, because they have to get up early, and like someone earlier said that they do leave, the group was leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning. Usually the family leaves and they're off the next day.
Wow, that's hard.
It is hard.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Thoughts?
Well, So Donna, would you recommend us trying to see them, you know, one of the weekends sort of closer to grad, but, you know, not interfering with Farnham, but if we're not going to see them when they graduate, after they graduate, like, is it a good idea to try and, you know, Michael's saying, oh, no, I think I just want to go to grad and not see you, and
it's up to you. It's up to the family.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're allowed to go and see them in Montreal. The recruiting office usually specifies it's good to go to Montreal just because there's a lot to do there.
Right.
Yes, definitely. If you want to go see your loved one, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, you know, they may be leaving the next day, and you won't be able to see them for a while then.
And will they know that? Like, will they be told?
Yes.
That they, yes. Okay, good.
Yes, they will know.
Okay.
And the other thing that's tough, I remember from the last session when we did this, was that they recommended not to bring your recruit home for you to go visit the recruit, just because it's hard to get your recruit back into the routine.
Okay.
And you got to remember that the first year is a lot. There's a lot of training involved with new recruits, and there's no cut and dry answers. It's basically training and waiting, and that's basically what the military is.
Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
If it helps any, this is Deb. I know that when we went through our police college training, the downtime was so important, just to sit around and have some popcorn and, you know, shoot the breeze and talk about our instructors and what they made us do that day. It really was team building, and I hate to say it, as much as I want to see my son, I know that when I was there, I didn't think about my parents that much. We're really close. It was just so many new experiences and being so immersed in everything, and I think it's kind of like that probably for them. But it sure does kind of suck that we can't see them. But I totally understand it's more me as a mom than it will be him as in the military.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
Very good.
So any other questions before we continue?
This is a great conversation. This really is. All right.
Okay, so additional points of interest. So what happens if my recruit becomes sick or injured during basic training? This is not the end. When this happens, it can be discouraging and worrisome. However, the recruit will recover and then return to training. Depending on how much time is missed, they will either return to their original platoon or may have to wait until a new platoon catches up to where your recruit left off, and they will continue with the new platoon. It's not something that anyone wants to see happen, but there is a remedy for the situation. The warrior platoon. A recruit who struggles to meet the physical requirements will be placed in a new platoon called warrior platoon. They will receive extra attention to bring them up to par with the requirements and also receive nutrition counseling. Once they can meet the requirements, they will then join another platoon starting where they left off. It's common for recruits to become discouraged from time to time. The most common times are during the first couple of weeks when they're adjusting to this new routine and lifestyle, and again around the 6-week point and the time of their first weekend pass, when they have experienced some freedom. If they can hang on in a bit longer, this is also the point where they usually notice a little more respect is coming their way. They've made it this far, and that is recognized. You may receive some phone calls throwing in the towel. Bad days happen. Family can encourage and point out the positive in what they have accomplished thus far and what's to come. In most cases, the next day will be better and the recruit will be glad they persevered. Sending care packages. It is common and acceptable to send letters and care packages to recruits. Packages should be about the size of a shoebox wrapped in plain brown paper. The contents of the package should be listed in one corner and, of course, your return address. You will need your recruit's service number, and you will address it to Private R. John, example, John Smith. The R stands for recruit. It is good practice when sending treats to your recruit to include enough for them to share with others. Most mail is opened in front of their peers, and they will be expected to share. Does anyone have any other questions or comments?
So you're saying that, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I should have put my hand up. So I could send him a care package this week. Would that be acceptable?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because I know he likes Reese's Pieces, and I can find the big Canadian size. So,
but he has to share.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to send a few of them. They're big. It's like a half-pound Reese's Piece. Okay, great. Thank you.
Sheena?
My recruit told me that I wasn't allowed to send food items to him. Is that true?
You know what? I've never heard that before, so it could be something new. But I've known people to send food items. It could be a new rule. I don't know.
So we're going to check on that and let you know in the after-session email.
Okay, that'd be great.
Because those chocolate Reese's have to get there.
Yeah, they're our favorite. So.
Paul.
One of the things we were told by Donald, and he's a recruit, was that food items they can send, they have to have enough to share with their platoon. And also for every care package and or letter that they get, they have to do 100 push-ups in order to get the care package. Oh. So he told us in no uncertain terms, no one's to send him anything. Because we weren't worth 100 push-ups.
Oh! Wow. That's the first time I've heard that one.
That's what they got told within the first week.
Wow.
No candy, because I was going to send them some, and he said, no, they're not allowed.
Interesting. We're going to have to check that out, Donna. You're going to have to use your resources over there.
And that's at St. Jean.
So no Reese's Pieces. That wouldn't be a good idea, right?
That's what we were told. No candy.
Okay.
So we were going to send them chocolate because my son loves chocolate, but he was told no.
Is it just because he gets like the 100 push-ups? Because I know what Reese is like. He would go, yeah, okay, I'll take the 100 push-ups as long as I can get it.
Yeah, that's what he told us, but.
Okay, Noella.
Yeah, so that kind of answers that question for us. But say if one was to send a package, it would be through regular Canada Post?
You can drop off the packages at any MFRC or where are you located?
Milton, Ontario.
Milton, okay. Yes, the MFRCs actually send care packages for free. But if you like, you can send it through Canada Post, but you'll have to pay for postage.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, pardon me, I just had a question actually on the previous topic, so if the recruits, somewhere down the line, they would be entitled to some vacation time. So how would that work? When are they allowed to take vacation?
They are allowed a weekend pass after the 5th week, but it's not guaranteed.
No, it's not.
You're talking about a week vacation, right?
Yeah, like say if he wants to come home, yeah, exactly about a week to 10 days. When would that be possible?
During basic training?
No. After the training is completed, say after the 12-week process is over.
Right. Well, they are sent to their next training. Vacation basically is up to the chain of command. And like I said before, the first year for new recruits is a lot of training. So vacation is pretty much just at Christmas time given to the new recruits.
Okay.
But like I said, it could be different depending on his trade.
Right.
So he would know that answer. He could ask his chain of command.
Right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Thanks. You kind of answered the question. Thank you.
Great. All right. Any other questions, comments, thoughts? That's interesting. I can't wait to get that after session email with more details on the sending care packages. That's a great one because I don't want to give my son extra push-ups. Terry.
Well, Michael sent us a text saying, please send a 5x7 photo. When you send it, send the return address as short as legally possible because I have to do push-ups for every letter in the return address. So I don't know what that, he said I'll share the details sometime, so I don't know what that was about. But yeah, they obviously get push-ups that are associated with receiving mail.
Wow. You had to send him a photograph?
Yeah, 5x7 photograph of a landscape of something near our home. I don't know. So, but we did send it just through Canada Post, and I'm sure it'll be there either today or tomorrow. So.
Okay. It's a different world, isn't it?
It is.
To teach you how to survive.
Yeah,
they do, and how to protect your fellow soldier.
Absolutely, and really, it's great training. It's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
These are great questions you're coming up with.
Okay, so what else does the London Military Family Resource Center do? So basically, our mission is to enhance the quality of life of military families across southwestern Ontario. We are capable and connected to military families. But if you're not from the London area, like some of our participants are today, check with your local MFRC for programs and services that are available near you. Either myself or Margaret can connect that MFRC to you if you're not too sure about who's your local MFRC. So as a family member of a new recruit, they're now also part of the military family. If you are a spouse, we hope you make a habit of connecting to your new MFRC wherever you are posted. MFRC services are geared to the individuals and communities that we serve, so you will find that programming changes with each posting. At the London Military Family Resource Center, our mission is to enhance the quality of life of military families, like I said. Our main offices are at Wolseley Barracks in London, but my office is actually located in Hamilton, and there is an outreach office in Windsor. Our vision is capable and connected military families, and our programs and services reflect that vision. We have a variety of programs for children, for youth, and for adults, and the program calendar changes each quarter. Have you had an opportunity to explore our website to see the different group and individual services that we offer? For example, this month, I've got a couple of things happening. There's a couple of events happening on Family Day that I've sent through email. Also, I have two mental health workshops that are happening. One this week, actually, in Waterloo, Ontario, and at the end of the month in Niagara Falls. So you can register for those two events. I also am selling movie passes for March break, and I will be sending out an email shortly about that. And there's also a couple of trips that are coming up in March, and also the regular support group meetings that happen in all the locations. Excuse me.
And let's not forget, I'm going to send you a link to virtual programs coming up that everybody can access as well.
Exactly.
So there's lots of money management and taxes and all kinds of great stuff. Terry.
Well, so somebody out there isn't from Milton, I'm from Georgetown. So I find that a lot of the activities are farther west than I really want to go. So do they have, you know, do you do anything closer to our area, or should we be connecting with a different resource center, you know, in Toronto? Or?
You're kind of in the middle of between Toronto and Hamilton.
Okay.
So I usually connect the families to Toronto if you wish. And some of the families that I have on my distribution list are on the Toronto distribution list as well. So you can contact either one of us if you would like to register for an event.
So if I want to find out about Toronto stuff, do I just do Toronto Military Family Resource Center?
I can connect you
correct.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But I can connect you to the Family Separation and Reunion Coordinator.
Okay.
If you'd like, if you want to just send me a quick email.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. We have an armory here in Georgetown. They don't do anything, eh? They don't have any events or?
No, they don't. There's not an MFRC located there.
Okay.
So feel free to join any of the virtual programs too.
Okay.
Exactly.
And Scott.
I just thought I'd share this one because I had asked Reese a question, and that was over 24 hours ago, and he's got back to me. And then I asked him about this care package, and I said, I'm online, Forces Family. Are you allowed to get any candy in the mail? And his response was, nope, no food products.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So that's directly from the recruit. So
wonderful. Thank you so much for getting that so quickly.
Well, Reese and I, if we have a chance, we keep in touch. But I know he's going to be going into the zone of darkness, so he's going to have to. I just asked him if there's anything he wants me to send. So.
Excellent.
So
okay.
Good. So that's good to know because rules are always changing in St. John, and that's news to me.
Did you see where I put in, I texted Ben while we were talking, and he just got back and said he has to do 25 push-ups per box.
Per box?
Okay.
Yeah. Not per item in the box, but per box.
Okay. And I guess if somebody's having a bad day, they may make you do 100.
Could be.
So it's flexible. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll make sure that goes in the after-session email too. No food. Any other questions?
I've got one. It's Deb.
Deb.
Seeing as my son can't left yet, how do you know what to send with them? Because we're talking about care packages. Like, is there a list of things like when you packed for your people to go, or?
They're actually given a list of things just before their enrollment. So he should have a list of things that he needs to take with him.
Yeah, he's kind of a bit in limbo because he's at school.
Okay.
And he's at school like for the full year. So he really hasn't got any direction yet. So I just didn't know if how I would get a list for him of what.
Now he's in, are you in London?
Yes, well, outside of London. He's living in London, going to school for culinary.
Okay, and he was already enrolled?
It's through the military.
Okay.
So he started in August, September, basically. He started on the payroll in September, and so he doesn't have a uniform or anything like that yet, but he has his military ID card, and that's about it.
Right. My suggestion for you to do is he should talk to his chief of command.
Yeah, technically he doesn't really have anybody in London. Apparently, he just found out at Christmas when he went to ask about leave that he's actually out of Toronto.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I will find out for you about that.
Okay.
When Donald left, he actually got a list of stuff that he had to get. And then we got him the stuff on the list, and when he got to St. John, things like bath towels, face cloth, hand cloth things he didn't need. They wanted him to purchase stuff there because it is of their colors and whatnot. So I would still send them with the list of stuff, but be prepared to get a bunch of it back if they just happen to come home or you go to visit.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And Paul.
That was me, Cheryl.
Oh, that was you. See your hand up. Sorry. That was a great point. Thank you so much for adding that. Any other questions or comments or thoughts or emotional outbursts? These are great. I'm so glad we're getting together because this is great information for everybody to have. Donna, you still there?
I am.
Great.
Okay, so here are a few resources that you might want to check out. If you email me after this session, I will be happy to send them to you. And also, I will be sending some answers to some of the questions that were brought up earlier on in the session.
So remember to check with your local MFRC. Also, there's a really cool, I just saw this now, Basic Up videos. They're on YouTube, and we're going to send you the links in the after session email. And it's following 5 recruits, Canadian recruits, from the time they sign the papers, when they go through training and all that, step by step. And each video is about 8 minutes, and there's 4 of them. So it's a phenomenal resource. So we're going to send you that in the after session email as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kim, did you have a question?
Yes, I'm not sure if this is the place to ask it, but maybe you can point me in the right direction. My son has just been at basic for a week, and he called the other night to say that they're having trouble getting his direct deposit to go through. They keep saying that its bank account is closed. So I went to the bank today, and they tell me there's nothing wrong with it, that the check and the form he's giving them is correct, that it has to be on their end. So anyway, I sent the information back to him, but I'm just wondering how do I proceed if he still can't get it to go through?
That
is odd.
Well, you know what? They've been having some payroll issues there. Ben had a problem there with his second last pay. They shorted him. So he had to, they gave him extra this pay to make up for it. So there seems to be something going on in the payroll.
Okay, well that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, because
so
my
that's
bank...
2 problems now that I know about.
Okay, because my bank insists that the information we're giving them is absolutely correct.
So Lisa has a great point. The unit clerk may know.
Okay, how would I even begin to get in touch with them?
He would have to.
He would have to, yeah. They wouldn't talk to you, I don't think, but you could ask him to go direct to the unit clerk.
Unit clerk, okay. I will, okay. I just feel kind of helpless because I'm here, he's there, and it's really hard to communicate with them.
That is stressful, isn't it, Kim?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
We've just put I've just put a link to a survey in the chat. I was wondering if you could just take a moment and fill in the few questions there just by double-clicking on it. And then in order to come back, you click on the blue and green ball at the bottom of your screen, and that will bring you back. And then give me a green check when you're back, please. Thank you. So Anita, do you see that in the chat? There you go.
Do we have to visit surveymonkey.com?
Yes, please. And we're going to be changing. Yes, please.
Okay.
That just gives us an opportunity to improve on our sessions. And to come back, just click on the blue and green ball at the bottom of your screen. And we are getting away from SurveyMonkey. We're going to Fluid Surveys shortly. Absolutely. That's a great catch, Lisa. Thank you. I will add parent of military member to my list. And veteran spouse, too.
I just put it under other.
Okay, thank you. We've only just added that to the surveys recently. So I will make that amendment. I'm so thankful that everybody was here tonight and sharing because, you know, it's nice to be able to have that support, to know other families are going through similar things. And it's nice to be able to know that I shouldn't send care packages, otherwise they'll have to do extra work. It's so nice to be able to connect with people who are in similar situations.
Yeah, this is very good, and I really appreciate you doing it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Lisa, you were asking her for having another coffee chat soon. You know what? I would really like to have. I would like to have this format, this virtual format, for a monthly connect with parents of military members. So you don't have anything planned at this point.
I would like to do a few more of these. This is actually the third coffee and chat that I've done since we've started this workshop. And actually, this is the best one that we've run so far.
I'm having difficulty finding you guys on Facebook. It's Cheryl.
Finding who? The MFRC?
Yeah. I'm trying to get to your page so I can add it, but MFRC London, right?
At London Military Family Resource Center?
If you go to familyforce.ca too, you'll be able to connect with London. And Terry, you're back.
Yeah. I don't know where I went, but I'm back.
Good. I'm glad you're back. We missed you. And Kim, tell me about these forms that you found very helpful.
I'm the kind of person that has to research everything. So I'm prepared. So anyway, I found these two, and they're a place where recruits and other armed forces people can ask questions. And there's other members of the military there that answer questions. And there's a wealth of information on both of them. Lots of suggestions for basic, lots of other information on different other aspects of the military. They're definitely worth looking into. I still look at them, even though my son's already left.
Oh, wonderful. Donna, can you include those in the after-session email?
Sure.
And the videos, too?
Somebody asked if I found them reliable. I think they're, a lot of it is some people's opinions, so as in any type of form that gives information, you kind of have to take some of it with a grain of salt and, you know, take what I tell my son is to take the information that you think works for you and get rid of the rest. So anyway, I found it very helpful. And the Basic Up videos, there's actually two of them. There's Basic Up and Basic Up 2. Those are fantastic to watch. I watched all of them. It takes a long time, but...
The 4 Basic Ups, yeah.
Yeah. They're very good.
Good. And those are the ones that are following 5 recruits from the very beginning right through to graduation, I think.
Yes, and there's actually 2 different ones. There's one called Basic Up, and the other one's called Basic Up 2. So there's actually 2 different ones. They're a little old, but they still give you a really good idea of what they're going through. Although some of it, sometimes I thought I shouldn't have watched it because then I'm thinking, oh, what are they doing to my poor baby? But it was very, very informative. And like I said, I'm the kind of person who needs to know what's going on.
Well, thank you very much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Did your child or adult member think they were good videos?
Yes, my son watched them both, all of them. I think there's 27 clips for each one, and he watched it all as well as he read a lot of in the forums that I presented here, and I'm hoping that it kind of gave him an idea as to what he was getting himself into. I don't know that you could ever be prepared for it, but maybe gave him an idea of what he was getting into, because he did make this decision rather quickly and kind of out of the blue. So it was good for him to see all this, that he was going to get yelled at and all the push-ups, and if somebody messes up, then they're all going to pay the penalty and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Terry?
Well, I haven't talked to Michael, specifically about this, but he too did. He watched the Basic Up and just a ton of other stuff. He researched so much from the time he applied until he was accepted. And when he left here, he certainly felt like that was a really wise thing to have done. But as I say, I haven't talked to him specifically about whether that's proving true, that it prepared him quite a bit. But I know he really enjoyed those Basic Up videos a lot.
Great.
Well, that's a fantastic resource.
Yeah.
So has everybody finished the survey?
Oh,
Anita.
Do I have to click the check button if I'm done?
So in order to get back, yes. In order to get back, Anita, if you're not back, just click on the blue and green ball at the bottom of your screen. There's a blue and green ball. The very, very bottom. That'll bring you back. There you go. Super. And Scott as well, if you're back.
Yeah, I'm right here.
So,
Hello?
is it something that you would like to have another meeting?
I'm good. What's up? Pardon? You're sick. What's wrong?
Kim, I just muted you. Put you in the chat. So, if there are no other questions, in order to exit out,
To be expected.
you click on the little X at the top right-hand side. Now, is this something of interest to you, though, before you go? Would you like to be able to connect with other families more often? Would that be helpful?
I think it's great. This is Deb. I think this has been such a learning experience, and just sharing and learning from everyone else what's going on is awesome. I'd do it again.
Okay. Well, that's good feedback. So we'll see if we can make something like that happen, Donna.
Exactly. And hope to hear and see, listen and connect with you again if we have another one of these.
When we have another one.
Positive thinking.
There you go.
So has everyone, so we've covered a lot of information so far, and we're not sure if you're feeling overloaded or happy. So please click on an emoticon to let us know how you're feeling right now. So if you see the drop-down button with the coffee cup,
no surprise faces, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, with the different program, that would be different for sure, Judy.
Perfect.
All right.
So was there any final questions or comments for the evening from anyone?
For me, it was very good.
Yep, thank you.
Very, very informative.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm glad I signed up for this one.
Yeah, same here.
And Anita from Winnipeg, you're glad you came too? Hope you got some good information.
Yeah, absolutely.
My fellow Winnipegger.
So thank you for taking the time to join us this evening, and once again, wishing you and your recruit all the best in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Have a nice
Have a very good night.
Thanks.
Good night. Bye, Donna. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.